Game on, everybody! Game number 5. What is with numbers today? It's game number 1 in a best of 5. There we go. My brain is a little bit too fast. Like, my mouth can't really follow what my brain is trying to say. My brain is already at, it's a best of 5. And my mouth listens to the 5 and is like, oh my god, I got something here. Game 5. No, it's game 1 in the best of 5. Go next against the French team, LFT, coming in. And yeah, with that, we're actually having Towers of Doom again. The opening map that we had in our first best of 5 series here today. It's Division S, baby, so we're gonna get some good games here. Go next, the team that kind of benefited a little bit from coming through disbanding and pulling out, so they were the next in line to get into Division S. Now they play against LFT, the French team. And LFT, they are pretty badass. They are pretty good. So that's gonna be an uphill battle. For Go next, let's be honest here. They and the Me Machine are definitely the underdogs right now in Division S. Which isn't a bad thing. They still made it into Division S, so that's already an accomplishment in and of itself. But of course, they are going to definitely grow playing as 5-mans in that league, but the question is, can they overcome some of those teams? And the French team, despite how good they are, they're still themselves one of those newcomer teams that made their way into this. Doesn't have any former ex-pros on their lineup either. But again, we'll see. Honor! Honor! HANZO, and yeah, he is just stuck on that one thing, isn't he? You can shove your honor where the sun doesn't shine, my little friend there. So yeah, HANZO on the first pick again. We had some fantastic arrows actually in the previous series. Some really, really good plays from HANZO's, and there's that Zeratul from Kelvin. They were memeing a little bit earlier, I'm not quite sure. They were chatting in the lobby, and apparently Kelvin is sick, and pretty sick at that. I'm not 100% certain if that's true, or if they were just like kidding around. I didn't catch all of the chat there. But yeah, they were definitely talking about him in that setup. So now we currently have Zavas and Jaina. So already you have a blow-up setup. It's like Void Prison, Ring, and we're gonna try and get the kills too with this one. TYRANDE gets picked away, and we have Tyrael now also taken, which of course gives Masquerade. Masquerade actually, he played some sick games already in Division S. Oh, yeah, he was absolutely putting on the big boy pants a couple of times, especially on Diablo. It's the reason why Diablo's banned out against him, because that guy is just next level badass. But Tyrael with Sanctification can ruin those Ring of Frost plays with the Zeratul Void Prison setup. So one of the main reasons why we're seeing that right now. Li Ming gets banned out, which means no resets. And what are we gonna ban over here? Well, ideally something that you can really pre-stun with. So you could... Nuburok is already banned, Dibbles is already banned, you have a support, you could ban Garrosh if you want to. Taunt could be dangerous with this. Yeah, they ban Garrosh. I like that. Okay, so Garrosh gets banned out. That's already okay. Jojo maybe, Muradin, both of them would work still. Could get a Malfurion to lock that down, helps also with the Void Prison setup so that you get the roots from underneath.
Anna checking in.
I keep forgetting Anna. Oh, Imperius. Ooh, yeah. Off lane or main? That's the question here. Can play him in both. Can definitely play him in both situations. Right now, with Wit controlling him, it seems like we're going to see him as a main character, but they could still swap around later. Yeah, but Imperius is badass. Like, that hero is just sick. Okay. Last 2 picks. Are we going to see the bunker? Are we going to see Blaze, or are they going to stick with LEORIC here? Dehaka instead, okay. And Mephisto even! Interesting, didn't expect Mephisto on the last pick. Alright, 1 left, then we're gonna head into our first game here. And on our last pick, we need an offlaner. Unless they want to have Zeratul in that position for a bit longer. Or main tank if you want to pick Diablo here, but I expect that we're gonna see a straight up offlaner here for this one now. And... Da-dum-da-dum. Ooh. Okay. If Starzox keeps in, I'm going to see stage dive. ETC can definitely be the offlaner here. But a nice setup. Game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Our best of 5 series number 2. Game number 1 at Division S. Let's jump straight into Towers of Doom. Game number 1, the French team against Go next. The red team has overcome their natural urge to run away, and they are facing every single challenge head on, and they're doing it extremely well. These guys have been taking names and kicking ass, and now they go up against Go Next, who's on the left side in blue with Kelvin on Zeratul, Wit on Imperius, Starzerk on ETC, we have Zervas on Jaina, and Skynox on Ana. On the right side of the map, it is Tobos on Mephisto, Banana H on TYRANDE, Dequaza on Dehaka, Masquerade on Tyrael, and Beyonce is playing HANZO. Well, and with that said, we're having our little brawl in the middle here. So, let's check that out. Are we going to see a bit of a kill? Already HANZO staying farther in the back here than usual, playing it safe. Want to get engaged upon at the early game. Darkwaza misses the quick drag that he was trying to set up here. ETC on the offlane position. Straight rotating in here. And yeah, with that we're having the rotation also at the bottom. Level 1 talent, the Guitar Hero. Personally, I'm a prog rock fan. Gotta admit, big fan of that talent. Put those stacks together. And win. Ooh, there's the spear, and barely escaping thanks to the shield. But yeah, that's the trouble. Imperius is a fantastic hero when it comes to these things. I gotta admit that from a design perspective, I'm always really happy to see Imperius into a game, because it's just absolutely insane how awesome it is when that guy engages, gets a double stun in, and just goes for the straight impale there. It's super fun. And the setups that he gets, I mean, look at this. The setup for something like this, especially when you're playing a Jaina, is fantastic. Then again, if he goes a little bit too far out, he realizes very quickly that after all, he's not invulnerable. And that's something that we just experienced firsthand. So he goes down. Obviously, the entire setup was also made it a little bit more difficult because the Harka could rotate down. We have the Skull Missile build for Mephisto, who's already sitting at 7 stacks right now. So, yeah. ETC will have to wait for his level 7 until he can really be the big solo laner. I mean, obviously, in this setup, he is the hero that we expected on that solo lane. If you're playing up against the Dehaka, the reason why ETC shines in that situation is because after level 10, he gets stage dive, and then he can mirror the global movements of Dehaka quite easily. But for ETC to be a solo laner, he really relies on that wave clear. And that wave clear comes on level 7 with Echo Paddle. It's something that has been played for a long time actually in HGC too. Nice setup here again. That flank from Wit is great, but Kelvin is in trouble as the engage doesn't quite work out the way that they were hoping for. Zervas is also on the run. Always feels like Jaina should be a little bit slower whenever she plays with the dress here. I can't imagine that if you're running in high heels in that dress that you get away pretty quickly, so that's always a bit of a miracle. It was actually really funny, like the other day with a friend of mine, we just climbed to one of the towers here in Valencia. Had like 200 steps, and like with steps like double steps and stuff. And then at some point one girl came down and apparently she was wearing high heels, and I was like, yeah, that's a smart decision that you made there. Trying to climb that thing in high heels. Let me know how that goes. Talking about how things go, things are not going well for Dequaza at the top right. He might even fall here. He's getting body blocked, but is getting away because Banana H is there. And now, we're not only having the kill against Starzerk, they actually just screwed up big time. They could have simply zoned out the top and caught both of those altars. And now as it happens, they're losing one of them. They already lost the one at the bottom, so it's a 2-for-1 trade against them. This is the moment when you're starting to be a little bit too greedy and you think, oh god, we can get a kill. But you don't go for the altar. So they had a chance to channel the altar, to zone out Dehaka as he was trying to escape. They didn't do that. And yeah, now they are slightly behind. That isn't necessarily going to be of any consequence in the late game, but it is definitely a bit of a play there. At the top of the map in the meantime, Starzerk, as you can see, is still struggling a little bit with the wave clears, trying to keep everything as bay here and also in range of the towers, just barely, so he gets the shots as assistance. Slides through here to make sure that the towers don't take too much damage, but it's level 7 that he's waiting for, and Echo Paddle is going to help him. Once again, starting to sit there. Here comes the 7. Echo Paddle any moment. And the invade on the camp with the earlier talent, and there's also the AoE now with the Holy Feather taken. ETC still waiting topside. Where's that Echo Paddle, buddy? There we have it. Paddle away, my friend. Paddle away. Alright, quick burst. Great position here to take down those pumpkins. If you have all three of them on the spot locked down, then of course the blizzard damage is going to pretty much wreck that thing immediately. Single altar on the map, and that's where things are becoming a little bit spicy here. That's exactly what we need right now. Yeah, Tobos is already starting to jump in as the camp is getting stolen away from them. They're positioning themselves towards the altar, but still, the Hakas at the top lane, the rest of the team is split. They're losing a tower to those, but the more important part is the position right here. And without level 10 abilities, there is no Ring of Frost shenanigans with Void Prison just yet. Once that's in play, it becomes extremely important how Masquerade plays it, because he's the one that will have to deliver the damage with, will have to deliver protection with his Sanctification. Quasar is really low, gets the drag, but gets also put asleep immediately afterwards. Everybody's getting low here as Tobos is delivering damage on his Mephisto, but Quasar is so close to falling, and there's the finishing move as Zeratul goes in and just cleaves away, but Zeratul dead himself. Beyonce with a kill, but then HANZO dies too. 3 versus 3. One team with a support, the other without, and also soon without a damage shield if they don't pay attention, because Dervas is extremely low. Good move by ETC denying the kill as Tyrael was jumping in. The Haka is back, moving to the top lane, and they're going for ETC again, and they're gonna get the kill. ETC is down, and that's also nearly level 10. That's really the moment when you have to go back there. Dude, you don't want to stand there too long, believe me. If you interrupt again and they get level 10, you are dead. You are absolutely dead. Here comes the shots, and they are fired, and that is another 4 points secured. 28 against 36 now. Sanctification, it is the big tool. You are going up against the Void Prison, you are going up against the Ring of Frost, and that's the one that you have to play with. Top lane pressure. Meantime, Quasar sitting here, nice and tight, trying to make his experience count. Late game is obviously where he's going to try and shine too, but once that ETC has a stage dive, he can mirror the global movements, which is the important one whenever the team is trying to create a numeric advantage somewhere else on the map with the Haka. And there it is, Void Prison. We have Wrath taken, stage dive, Ring of Frost, and Nano boost. And they make the play for Wit again, and Wit is low. Stage dive, ETC, Void Prison, Sanctification, it's all getting dropped. And they are trying to go for the kill here. A nice spear. Tyrael in trouble, but the drag is great against Ana. And Ana is down. Here's the Wrath delivery on the other hand. But even that doesn't work out. Wit is low. Gets away though. But the drags are just too good. Quasar again with a big tongue. He's nearly as good with his tongue as Sugar Daddy 69. He's not quite on that level, but then again, who is? Here comes the kill against Jaina shortly after, and with that we have a triple kill, and they go for the quick conversion of the bell tower at the bottom of the map here. With the minion wave pushing in, that should be an easy peasy one. And yeah, they're going to get it. Nicely done. Okay, that's going to be 5 versus 3 bell towers on the map, and they should be able to zone this one out too. It's a 5 versus 5 once again, but of course cooldowns are incredibly important for Go Next, as a lot of them rely on that wombo, and so far they don't have them. But here comes Zeratul with a quick interrupt. Nana H goes back on the channel, trying to zone that out too. They're stealing the camp away, at least they're going to get that. Wit dives over with the lunge, but they're going to claim it. 5 shots fired. Kaboom. 23 against 36, and they're defending the bot lane right now. Ooh, there we have it! An immediate arrow, fantastic arrow. But they're actually not in a situation where they can capitalize on it. But they are, well, they at least get the 2 shots in. With capitalizing, I meant getting kills. But yeah, I like that they were able to at least make that happen. So here comes the next kill against Jaina, and the French team is just murdering it right here. These guys are seriously good. I can't wait to see them against other established teams with former pro players as well. That's going to be super awesome. But it feels that at this point, at least in this first setup, they definitely outperform Go Next here quite a bit. These guys are seriously good. Top lane, that's where we're having Quasar going up against Starzerk now. Nobody rotating in, so we'll stay in that 1 versus 1 that we're seeing here. And ETC wins it out in the end, because Zeratul started to make his move. And I like that Quasar actually had the foresight to move away. They definitely let him know that Zeratul was nowhere else to be found on the map. That was a good decision to give it up, because if he dies, then they are in a much bigger problem than that. Okay, so with this, we're currently having the moves down at the bottom of the map, still protecting everything, trying to get the minions through, trying to get those pumpkins to victory. 38 stacks, by the way, for Mephisto, which means that he's 2 away from completing his level 1 quest. Similar also for Jaina, who's currently just 1 single away from getting hers. HANZO, look at him. He's already sitting there. He's 10 seconds early to the altar. Didn't know that HANZO is German, but it's confirmed now. 21 points against 36. HANZO also retrying the channel. Kelvin is there, though. Yeah, needs to be careful here, bro. HANZO doesn't really have the big hit point pool. ETC with a stage dive. Arrow hits Jaina. The delivery system works as well. But here's the Void Prison, and, well, Jaina isn't there for the Ring of Frost. That is not really working out the way that they wanted to, but they get the kill regardless. The Sanctification comes in too late, and it's a 5 versus 4 now. Here comes the play by Mephisto. Nicely done. Spreading here against to Jaina too. The damage and the kill. Jaina dead. The Ring of Frost is out, but didn't land them another kill. Tobos is low. Is trying to get some value out of this one. Jumps out. Jumps back in. Might still fall. So does TYRANDE. But Zeratul is dead too. Tobos. He dies. But we're seeing ETC fall as well. Starzerg is Starzerg is actually about to stay alive here if Anna does her job right. I mean, Wit on Imperius can't really help them any longer. Here comes the slide in. Tap at the fountain, by the way, in the meantime, from Masquerade, as he's starting to help out too. And ETC is dead. Anna stayed a little bit too long, if you ask me. But then again, just turns her out, zip, go to sleep. Yeah, the setup didn't really work the way that they wanted. At the beginning, they got the kill against Dehaka, but you could definitely tell that things got a bit disjuncted there. They couldn't really capitalize on the Void Prison because Jaina was just too far out. And when Imperials used the Wrath to try and deliver a kill, it also didn't work the way that they intended to, because Jaina was under so much pressure. So the fight was a little bit less coordinated than you really wanted to. It still resulted in an early Dehaka kill, but it felt that from there, given the tools that they had, they needed a little bit more to get off these cooldowns, and they did. And now they're, of course, again far behind, considering the level 16 talent on their opponent's side. Big arrow that misses everything. And the camp still taken here. Could have been a big arrow. I guess the arrow size doesn't change, but it doesn't quite get the value that they want there. So, yeah, once again, they're starting to jump in down at the bottom of the map here. To get the... well, to hold the tower. 16 versus 16 is, of course, what you're aiming for now. The thing is, if you win a team fight at this point, with Wit already getting pretty low here, you also still have the shot at the boss top lane, and with 11 points at the core, that becomes a big problem. So Beyonce is also getting another camp for them. Again, more pressure bot lane. So once again, you have to be careful there. Pressure in the middle of the map. ETC still taking the top. And... every single time I see Dehaka go for one of these tracks, it's getting nasty. But yeah, there's a double, triple also on the map now, and they are still holding on to the bottom. They're still clearing that wave. They still have the 16 advantage. And this is getting really ugly now, because you have to deal with this, but you also have to go for the altars, and Jaina's the only one currently dealing with it. She also gets it bursted down pretty quickly, but that still keeps her at the bottom a little bit longer than they probably want to. Dehaka is making the way down to the bottom altar so that he can just tunnel into the top. Good interrupt against Starzerg. Second one is coming through too. Kelvin is low as well. The lunge misses. That's a problem for Wit as he gets stunned out. Already shots fired as Dehaka channeled the bottom. They're making the play for the top now, and that's still a potential. See, right there. Oh, the drag out of the arrow range. Here's the Void and the ring. Yeah, only it's one. Sanctification is negating everything, and they're making the plays now. The stun against Zeratul nearly drop him in here as they're starting to go for it again. Channel already happening from Beyonce. And that is 5 shots fired. Down to a single point on the core against 33. Boss still up. It's a problem. It's a big problem. Even with the Void Slash on Zeratul, do you really have what it takes to come back into this game? Now, if you're trying to defend here, you also have to be very careful that Imperius isn't able to connect Wrath, because if he does, he just carries you into the back here, and you are gonna fall for sure. But as it stands, they're just trying to make the plays around the pumpkins. And they're doing really well with them too. So, yeah, with this, they're going for that straight ahead to try and deliver at least one more point and finish game number 1. Wit is already starting to get really low here. He gets the camp though, and that was an important one. And with this, they should be able to reclaim the bottom bell tower. They will get it, 100%. There we go. That's nice for them, gaining some control back. It was really needed. It was needed to gain that control back because they were completely falling behind here, and they still are behind. I mean, it's 13 kills against 4. So, but if you think about it, 13 kills against 4, and they're only half a level ahead. That's actually pretty insane. That's honestly pretty insane. One of the main reasons is that the experience on the map didn't really get changed, so you can't capitalize on taking down structures of your opponent, in the sense that you're not getting that passive experience lead, which would of course have snowballed this a lot for them. And now we're having Go Next starting to be a lot more aggressive on the map, because simply they have to. I mean, look at the top lane, for example. They have to be aggressive around this shrine now. And you can't forget, if the channel starts and Tyrael uses Sanctification, they can cheese it. It's all that they have to do. Start the channel, sank it shortly after. Just time it properly. If they do that, if Tyrael sanks now, gets interrupted. But if they do that, then they actually win this. And if they get a kill, they of course win it too. Here comes the stage dive, the lunge, and they could get the kill. Yes, TYRANDE is dead, but so is Jaina. And Jaina is not the only one falling. Skynox is solo, and Anna is getting dropped here. And that is the Sank already on the ground as they're trying to keep everybody alive. Zeratul is dying. It's a triple at this point, and the drag makes it a quad. Wit is gonna fall once he delivers. But Beyonce is down as well. It's still a 3 versus 1. And with the altar still on the map, Starzak just can't do anything. He's gonna get dragged around here quite literally. And that's the end of the cow as well. Moohoo as he falls. And that is going to be game, ladies and gentlemen, as the French team takes the first game in the best of 5 series here at Division S. Game number 2, the French team in the lead on Infernal Shrine against Go Next. We're gonna have our second map here. Yeah, on Towers of Doom they actually did exceptionally well. It was great coordination despite the fact that we had a Zeratul set up on the other side. So, I'm a bit curious to see if Zeratul gets through the draft again, to be honest with you. Right now, what do we ban here? We have again the ban against the Nubarak. Diablo got banned by Go Next the last time. On Infernal Shrines, I mean more so than on any other map, I would say ban that Diablo. Yes, thank you. Again, the reason is Masquerade. He just murdered people the other day with that hero. Boy, was that brutal. Like that guy, he put on the big boy pants, he put on the backpack, and then he started carrying that team to that victory. It was actually incredible. So great frontliner here for them. Did a great job on Tyrael in the last game too. A couple of nice Sanks that he had. There's the Ana ban. Which means that, once again, Zeratul is open. Are they going to try it a second time? Or have they learned the lesson here so far?
With every death comes honor.
Honor!
With honor,
Honor!
redemption.
Does anybody else just listen to that voice line and listen to that and just think to himself the entire time, just shut the fuck up, Hanzo? It's like every time he comes in with that, and the back of my head is just like, dude, just STFU right there. Jaina and Garrosh played on the side of the French team. Now, yeah, that means, of course, that you at least think about Zeratul here. I wonder if Go Next is going to ban him out. If they're going to ban Zeratul. It doesn't feel like they have any indication or inclination to pick him again. Malfurion and Johanna are now being picked for the extra wave clear, in the case of Jojo. Alright. What do you ban out there? Another damage dealer, maybe an offliner. Depending on what they themselves want to play. Actually, I'm surprised that so few teams ban out LEORIC, to be honest. I mean, there's always another set of offlanes you can ban out, but here, if you don't pick Leo, you might as well ban him, I feel. Provides a lot of slow, provides a lot of damage. Talking damage, they're more so worried about damage. So they're immediately banning out Gul'dan, which also means that you can't play around the Horrify anymore. Makes the Squishy a little bit easier to play. Zeratul banned, yes or no? Are you afraid of the Void Prison into the big ring of death? Or are you not? That's the question here. Yeah, they are. They are. No Zeratul for you. TYRANDE is open, by the way. Just now realizing that. TYRANDE, Alexstrasza, both still very good, considering that Anna's banned out. Malfurion is already taken. Could go for the little doggy as well. Play Rega. A little oversized Chihuahua. And what's it gonna be? The French team with TYRANDE and Thrall. Another Orc into the mix. Full on for the Horde here. Okay. Last two picks. Is it going to be Leo, or we're going to see something else here? I mean, Leo has the wave clear. Leo can go also on the 2 lanes. Has survivability. You can sacrifice him if you have to. Has the extra damage. What else could we see? Junkrat has still not been picked up, so you can definitely go Junkrat if you want to. Poke from the outside. Reyna. Arthurs. Alright, Arthurs alike. Reyna. It's going to be interesting. Should be able to at least give them some control over Garrosh. So definitely a good pick. And the last pick on the other side. Range damage would be traditionally what you pick up. And what did he go for here? Junkrat? Or are you going to play around Order Attacker as well? Leo, triple frontline. Nice, I like it. A little bit easier against Arthurs, to be honest. Because Thrall is having a bit of a harder time against him. Game number 2, Infernal Shrines. Let's head straight into it. Game number 2, we are on Infernal Shrines, and on the left, go next with Wit on Johanna, Starzerk on Arthurs, Skynox on Malfurion. We're currently seeing Zavas on Reyna and Kelvin on Hanzo. And to the right side, Banana H with TYRANDE, Tobos on Jaina, Daikwaza on LEORIC, Beyonce on Thrall, and Masquerade on that Garrosh. No Trash Lightning in this game. Definitely became a possibility when they started to use LEORIC next to Arthurs, because chances are that Leo is going to hold the solo lane and will try and deal with Arthurs, whereas Thrall is joining most of the rest of the team. It's not really the best map for Trash Lightning, don't get me wrong. This is definitely a map where you normally don't want to take the talent. But if you have Thrall already in your format, you can think about it. I still enjoy that he went into Echo of Elements, because, to be absolutely honest, outside of Battlefield of Eternity, Crash Lightning is a pretty garbo talent. It can be okay when you're playing on Volskaya Foundry as well, but I would really limit it to those 2 maps. Very, very small fringe situations disregarded, but yeah, those are usually the talents where you want to take them. But as it stands, we currently have in our little game here also the first stacks coming together for all of them, as expected. Arthurs versus LEORIC up to the top lane. So we are already having small rotations in here. GoNext just had trouble with that combo in the last game, and now I feel with this they're relying a bit more at the individual plays and adjustments during a team fight. So that might work a little better for them. Masquerade is already trying to see if he can maybe get access to Reyna. That doesn't quite work out for him. Also when it comes to the stacking. I really enjoyed Masquerade's play for most of that. He did very, very well in a lot of these situations. And up to the top, Daikwaza. Currently, of course, trying to get those drains connected. And if you play LEORIC, it's the old system. Swing and drain. Swing and drain. Reason is quite simple. Swing slows, so you want to make sure that you connect the swing with the opponent's hero. Then you start draining, because the drain hope is much more likely to connect if your enemy is already slow. So, down to the bottom of the map, we're currently having our little 3-man trying to get under the camp. It's just the small advantages that you're trying to edge out at the beginning of the game. Normally we don't see too many brawls happening there. Once that the level 4s are kicking in and the first shrine is announced, it starts to become a little bit different. But if a team falls behind very early in the game, that's usually a very bad indicator. You normally have maybe an isolated kill somewhere on the map, but not too much of that. Interesting adjustment also on level 4, by the way. Deathlord gets taken. Okay, so we are going to maybe see a big specking from Arthur's into a Death Coil build. That will be very interesting to say the least. Especially on shrines, you normally rely heavily on the Frozen Tempest, and especially in the setup against Thrall. I would have expected that. It's more of a survivability thing for Starzerk here. We're casting a lot of ARAMs just for fun with viewers, and when you're sitting in an ARAM, then that is a talent that makes a ton of sense for you. Maybe if Arthur expects to find himself in a lot of one-on-one situations, speccing into this a little bit more might be a decent idea, but for the team fights, it's a bit questionable, unless he feels that he can't be healed by the support there. We'll see how it works out. It's definitely an approach that you can take, but I haven't really seen it too much in competitive setups. It's a little bit more of an ARAM build if you ask me. Not something you see on that level. Normally the value that you get from the Frozen Tempest variations are just way better. But that's why level 7 is really interesting to me, because you would still expect him to go for the Icebound Fortitude here. Masquerade gets actually murdered here. Yep, goes down as Jimmy connects with a last order attack, and go next is just simply saying, boys, let's go, and to get the frontline eliminated, which pretty much immediately means like, try and better next time. So yeah, with them down, that is problematic. That means that the offlaners are immediately heading towards the other lanes, and it's all about defense now at the top. First of all, trying to take the Shaman down, of course. We're seeing the Frostwolf pack on level 4. 3 stacks so far connected for Thrall. Needs to be a bit careful. Also, oh, and talking about be careful, he actually missed it. He missed it against Starzerk, so yeah, got reset, and now he gets walked into the ground here. HANZO already in half HP. That's bad news. Even with the Quasar rotating, I like that. That was actually sneaky. Starzerk just juking him out completely as he was trying to go in and help out. Icebound Fortitude has still been taken, by the way. So we're seeing it on level 7. Good talent choice here. That was an important one to take against Jaina and TYRANDE. There's a lockdown. 3 stacks acquired again from Thrall, as they're trying to make the play here. The wall has fallen. They still saved the fountain though, and that's actually or can be a big deal later on. The time being doesn't matter too much. Ooh, I'm not sure about Thrall, dude. Like, you need to be careful. He got the stack, granted, but if he dies, he loses the ones that he has too. So, yeah, careful, buddy. Needs to be a little bit careful with this one. Leo is still up at the top lane. The janitor cleaning house. Leaving his closet at the Blizzard headquarters because Blizzard needed the room for the rest of the Heroes of the Storm developer team. So now he finds himself with this new skin in the game here on Infernal Shrines and is trying to follow the clean duties that he has. It's a man on a mission. Clean the trash off the map, and he's trying, but so far they haven't gotten a kill yet. So the push at the bot lane with the camp. Again, Masquerade. He is looking, of course, for those snipes, but now with the slows, that's an issue. The Indomitable was ready this time, though. Not off cooldown. Good stun again. I like the TYRANDE plays that we're seeing on them. So the easy defense, of course, and level 10 abilities is going to be the next big step. Up to the top lane, Starzerk still against Quasar, the soap bar. They're still working through bottom lane pressure with only 2 defending. That little 4-man that we're seeing is still doing solid work and is always threatening Garrosh at the front line, which is of course a big thing. Thrall still sitting there too. Can't really take that rotation here. If you walk into your opponent's hands in that setup, you are dead meat, especially with level 10 ready. That means that Johanna is going to have less shield, and that is going to catch you whenever you try and make that play. Jojo teasing here, look at that. There's no way you go falling sword, right? I mean, you get buffed at some point, but still, blessed shield is blessed shield. That's a stun setup. It's just made for this. So they're actually going to... There's no way. Nah. It's going to be a blessed shield. He's trying to be mysterious. He's trying to build up suspense. He's trying to tease us a little bit. We all know it's going to be blessed shield, so yeah. calling out Johanna right there. It's not happening. The other team, though, with the Earthquake, Ring of Frost, everything as you would expect it to. Especially, of course, since we're also seeing at the same time committing to Taunt on Garrosh. So whenever you have that Entomb and the Taunt, that's a perfect setup for the Ring of Frost. And that's the lineup that they want here now. Experience still dead even. And they're going to try to make the play for the next shrine. 7 seconds in. And let's see if that's going to work out now. Good setup with the Ring of Frost, and you can pretty much blow HANZO into the next universe right there. HANZO's already trying to work on this. Same goes, by the way, for Malfurion. Unless he picks Ice Block later. Kappa. Huh? And she actually goes Falling Sword. You gotta be shitting me. We have Falling Sword. Nice. Nicely done. And there we go, Falling Sword, baby, and the Hyperion, and it didn't do enough. Where's the ring? There's the ring. It connects, but the damage follow-up isn't quite there. Running with the Hyperion is a bad idea here, but they kind of need to escape, so it was a good setup. It's the ring, baby, and the fight is still not over. A lot of heroics already being used as they're starting to move in again for the kill, maybe, maybe not. Look at Gonex, they are murdering it here. 3 stacks away. Good stuns coming out, but it's just not enough damage, and all they need is one single minion, and they get it too. Well played by Gonex. Yep, there it is. Punisher time. As the team just moves away. Now, I've got to admit that I'm pretty happy that we see the Falling Sword, but I have to question a little bit how much they really did in the last fight. It felt like it was a pretty nice connect, but it didn't really do a whole lot. But I'm absolutely willing to see how much value they're gonna get out of this later on. For now, I'm still a little bit skeptical though. Having the push in the mid lane being highly effective on the other hand. I mean, they are already dropping this one down to half health, but we haven't really seen a main structure eliminated yet. Arthas is catching the experience topside. And obviously with the cooldown reduction that we had incoming in one of the recent patches. It wasn't all that recent, it was end of 2018, I think, was it? Shortly after? Either way, but the cooldown reduction is definitely pretty significant. Here comes the big body Entomb and the double Ring of Frost. That's the setup that Daddy wants to see. Alright, nice. A double Entomb, and then Jaina goes in and down. It's absolutely insane. If you don't have a burst heal for that or any kind of negate, if you can't stop Jaina from dropping the damage and you're locked down, you are going to be super annoyed by this. Yeah, you're gonna fall. So with this, we're having them now once again pushing through the bottom of the map, trying to capitalize on that little lead. Now, death timers, this early in the game, still pretty low. So the 5-man is back on the map. Could put some damage onto that fort, but by no means kill it. Is it, by the way, a little bit weird that Johanna doesn't carry a sword? I mean, wouldn't that be the Falling Flail? Wouldn't that be more adequate? Shouldn't that be the name? She is using a flail after all. I mean, I guess I would maybe still take the argument of the Falling Mace, but not so much. We already have one big bad boy that is having a mace. I mean, okay, in this case, with that skin, he's carrying a Swiffer. But still. I think it's the Falling Flail. Which is also kind of true, because like whenever she's starting to fall, she's flailing around a little bit. Wouldn't you, if you're all of a sudden airborne? I'm sorry if that's a little bit distracting, but I think someone has to actually ask the hard-hitting questions here. Who else does? There's the Earthquake, they're trying to make the play, and in comes the Falling Flail. Ah, but it's too late to save Arthas. He's down already, and now the kill against Reyna. Oh, another double kill, and that's the French team ahead again. Yeah. 4 kills against 1, entire level lead, and on top of that, they're so close to 16. Johanna is at the bot lane right now, flailing around a little bit. In the meantime, we're seeing the top lane completely demolished. Well, not completely, they're not getting the fort yet, but as you can see here, they're already focusing in on the fountain itself. And that's pretty important to, as on Volskaya Foundry, remove that fallback point for your opponent. So, that's the one that we're doing here. Yeah, they're starting to move back to the top, and with a level 16 talent in the hands, that obviously means Alpha Wolf. Great synergy with a level 4 talent. Mana cost reduction, cooldown reduction, what else do you want? The Numbing Blast, also with the extra roots. And they're far ahead. Not even fighting for this. Johanna sitting down here again as the Quasars just simply ghosting out with 13-16 in his hands, and the 16 committing to the Royal Focus. Has no problem with him at all. He's just like, ooh, and gets out of there. Playing a little bit of Casper, the unfriendly ghost here. Masquerade, also deep pushing, but it's a nice trade getting that fort for them. The counter push at the top is very likely going to deliver one too, but I like the idea of Go Next to do everything they can to get that extra level. Because they need that talent. They do. And now they're going straight for another one. That's a double fort that they're getting out of this one. That's actually really, really good. I mean, can you really think about a better trade right now? They just gave up on the Punisher and they said, well, double fort for us. Hell yeah. Hashtag value. They still need to fend the top lane. That's the biggest problem. Leo down here might fall. Nah, it's getting away once again. He's actually starting to interrupt them. Interrupts one, doesn't interrupt Wit. The rest of the team needs to protect the top lane because obviously they want to make a play for the keep. Johanna, everybody's already looking for the possible engage. Johanna is looking for an opportunity to flail into the backline. Here comes first of all, going straight into the move. And activates the falling flail. No, she does not. Dies before she can do anything. The stuns come out. Here's the Hyperion. But Starzerk is in trouble. And that's the double kill. The entire front line obliterated, and the rest of the team is just absolutely on the run right now. Nice root against Thrall, but he gets saved by Masquerade on his Garrosh. They move into the keep and they take it down. Easy kill right there. 2 levels ahead nearly, and now they can also rotate into the middle and see if they can maybe drop another fort. They should try and catch up in these forts. They haven't done that so far. But yeah. So, let's see. Get the wall. And taking that down is an easy peasy free play. But they also get a bunch of experience, and that's the big one. Yep. Closer to level 20. That's where you want to go. Give me the 20, baby. Look at that hero damage of Jojo. 17,000 despite Falling Sword. That just feels bad. I haven't really seen a lot of Falling Sword ever since the change, but I expected it to be a bit more impactful. Like, I don't know. Feels like that needs a bit of an update. I mean, it was a nice idea, don't get me wrong. They tried. But it doesn't really feel like that is really impactful. If you compare it to Blessed Shield in particular. Look at it. Leo needs to change the water. That's why it goes back to the Nexus. And you need to do that. I mean, if you clean that much trash off the map the entire time, at some point that water bucket just becomes really, really dirty, and you need to change the water. If you don't do that, then you're not really cleaning anything, you're just distributing the dirt on the map. So Leo just realizes, guys, I'm sorry, but I have to go and change that a little bit. Maybe also change for a new Swiffer Blade there, because, yeah, things are getting a little bit dicey. Oh, here comes the big engage, though. The Entomb against 2 once again. And the insta-kill against Reyna. Jimmy is down, and look at Malfurion. Run, little druid, run. Down he goes, the Doom Hammer straight to the skull, and Johanna falls too. It's another triple kill, and they are just murdering. A French team, they are doing extremely well in this game now. They're moving through, they're taking everybody down. They have level 20 now on their hands. They're just absolutely going French Revolution on Go Next. One guillotine kill after another the entire time. Starting to move down to the bottom of the map again. I mean, they need to at least get a fort out of this one. Yeah, they're going to take the bottom lane. So, they're going to take this one. Starting to move in straight there. And there we have it. Alright. In comes Quasar. Trying to see if he can maybe sniff someone out there. Nah, not quite. Whew. Go next. How you play it for me? You're behind by a talent, a little bit more than that. You need 1 level of experience, plus a few. They kind of need to wait until they have 20. But they can't. So, it's the bottom shrine. The bottom wall is still intact. So, this is your defensive side up that you have. They can't possibly fight this. Not against level 20. Not with Earthen Shields and Buried Alive. That's a suicide run. They need to try and get their level 20 and then defend with level 20. It's the only thing that they can do, I feel. And they are trying to do exactly that at the top lane. Massive push coming in. They need that 20 before they can do anything else. Don't lose a hero right now. Get heroic abilities or storm talents. And then defend with 20 against the opponent's Punisher. Unless the French team is insanely slow, you won't be able to fight them for this one. And with 28, 30 points already on the counter, it's just absolutely no way. So starting to go bot lane right now. All, by the way, Arthur took Embrace Death after his level 4 talent. He gets a bit of synergy out of it. Top lane is going to fall, this one. Fall is going to fall, but it's all about the bottom of the map now. Taking the wave down. Okay, dropping a Blizzard already onto the wall. And trying to go through the side lane here whenever the jump comes. That's going to be an important one as well. So opening the side lane so that they can follow up when the stun comes through. Trying to drop a tower now as well. Able to do that. And here comes the jump. 20 on both sides now. Gives us the anti-magic shell, and we're having Heaven's Fury. Alright, make it rain, baby, make it rain. See if that is going to add a little bit of damage. Here comes the Hyperion already as they go for the keep. Keep is a no-go, that's immediately down. And here it comes, alright. The massive value on Johanna's ult, not. But we have the Buried Alive against Malfurion, who barely escapes and is able to drop his ult. But we're also seeing Starzerk about to fall, taps the fountain and is actually alive. And in comes Jojo, trying to slow them down a little bit. They're making the way over to the core, but they might not just be able to finish now. I don't think they are, to be honest. This one is down. Starzerk is trying to cut off the path of retreat. Ult comes through, yeah, that cooldown is, now we're talking. Slow cooldown here, and that is really working wonders for them. Thrall is in trouble. Oh, the stun, nice! Ring of Frost doesn't hit anything, and now Starzerk is just walking down Banana Age. Lady, care for a dance. Well, TYRANDE doesn't really, and the big bad protector, Garrosh, is already throwing Arthur's away here because of those unwanted advances. Down go Jaina and LEORIC, while Arthur's was trying, while Garrosh was trying to White Knight a little bit. In comes Jojo, and look at that, Garrosh is actually pulling that off. Nice. With the intent to clear the wave here. 2 keeps, by the way, down. Top keep fallen, bottom keep fallen. So both of them eliminated. Leo still ghosting. You can't win that here, but you might be able to take down the keep. Yeah, that could be a play. 20 seconds, 19. Leo's going to be back a little bit quicker. Can they go keep? I don't think so. Maybe. Ooh, if they get a kill, they definitely can. If they can close that and get a kill, then oh boy, then we're talking. Okay. That keep, yeah, okay. Is it falling? Are we going to see another Buried Alive? Quasar wants it, and they're gonna do it for, yeah, they're gonna go for Arthur's. He should have waited. He should have waited a little bit longer. Arrow comes through, Leo is dead. They were a little bit too trigger happy. Now the keep is gonna fall. Now it's gonna fall. Yeah, they were a bit too trigger happy at that move. Keep for a keep, but catapults on the core. Well, or not on the core. Catapults on the catapult. Now they're trying to go for the core before the mini response. That's 4, by the way. They're losing the game now. Thrall dies, they can lose the game. If they actually slow them down and they can't raise, they can lose this. That's 5 catapults that are completely obliterating that core, guys. 5 catapults, even with the minion wave. Just look at that disaster. That's game. That's game right there. You can do over here what you want. If you can't get back, that is game. That's 16 points on the core. We're talking 10, and the Winions are gonna take it. GG as the French team. It takes the 2-0 lead against Go next on Infernal Shrines. The French team, everybody, has taken the 2-0 lead. And now we're heading into Dragonshire, our potential final map. Unless Go next all of a sudden says like, we figured it out. And draft some mystery comp that takes down the Frenchies here. Alrighty. So let's have a look at our bans. Diablo was consistently banned. We had Zeratul actually let go through a few times now, but even the Zeratul approach in the first game didn't work out for Go next. This time they're getting rid of HANZO again. And let's have a look at what the Frenchies do this time. Still have the IF though, through though. But yeah. France is actually interesting. The French always had like strong players. We were memeing about them a lot, and for good reason. I mean, these guys eat frogs after all. But the French, the Swedes, Polish, always, and the Russians obviously, always strong teams in esports. It's like probably the top 4, together with Germany, the top 5 when it comes to European esports countries. I mean, Sweden is obviously a little bit cheating. These guys are like the Korea of Europe. And then we have the Russians as well. But it's super interesting to just see how there's always top teams or top players emerging out of those countries. There's a Dibbles ban again. I'm pretty happy about that because if I remember correctly, that was the map where Masquerade on Diablo, or Diablo, how it's called on the French side, totally obliterated the opponent. Pretty much the same ban side we had in the previous games. Slight adjustment because of HANZO. Wasn't banned out the entire time, but yeah. So, okay. What are we gonna have in terms of first pick? There's the TYRANDE. This time. Horrible skin, by the way. TYRANDE is one of the characters that nearly has only bad skins. She has a couple that are okay, that are not horrible. But there's not a single TYRANDE skin where I go like, that's it, that's awesome. It's really a bit weird because I feel like the hero would really give you opportunity for some fantastic skins. Might be me, just I don't like them.
I'm here to help.
I'm here to help. Alright. Jaina Zeratul again. Whew. The damage. This is the first time that they actually played the combo. In the first game they faced off against it. In the second game Zeratul got banned out in the second ban rotation. This time they are flipping the switch a little bit quicker to make sure that they get 2 of them. And I like it for this map in particular. There's Junkrat. Garrosh. I'm a little bit waiting for what the top lane is going to be. Are we going to see Rexxar play? Because we have seen a lot of Rexxar lately, especially from all the Russian teams. But we could also see Yrel. Leo, Yrel, really good at the top lane. Rexxar can be played at the top lane. DHaka can be played at the top lane. So, yeah. And Gul'dan, banned again. I can understand that. You don't want to deal with a Horrify if your entire combo just hinges on you having a good combo setup. That's when Horrify can really just absolutely ruin your day. Oh, what do we ban on the other side though? It's a bit of a toughie, to be honest. Maybe Malfurion? Ban him out, then there's no roots. Ban an offlaner. Yeah, Ana. I keep forgetting about Ana. I don't know what it is. Like, do you know that sometimes you just feel like there's a black hole in your brain where there's like there should be a hero? I seem to have that every now and then. Like in one of the metas, there was like one main hero that I just consistently did not think about when it came to these things. But yeah, Ana obviously great choice as well. Could have seen a Malfurion ban. Ooh, Jojo taken. I gotta admit, I kind of expected a Muradin. Muradin on this map is pretty solid. I mean, JPL, for example, on Dignitas has taken Muradin every time they played on Dragonshire because he's really powerful, jumping out of bushes and getting the storm set up. But the extra wave clear that you have from Johanna is also pretty neat. Then again, they didn't necessarily need that wave clear because they have Rhaegar, Jaina, and Zeratul already in the setup, so that's pretty decent. Last 2 picks. There's the Rexxar. I like it. Rexxar comes in, and Genji. Okay. And at the top, last but not least, what we're going to see for the French team. What's going to be the offlaner? Now I kind of want to see Yrel here. If we have Leo, he's going to have a ton of damage, by the way. You can drain the bear 6 days to Sunday. But Yrel would be solid. Either Yrel or DHaka. One of the two would be my favorite for this. And they go for DHaka. Okay, so they have the global play. They can use that. So, yeah. That could be it. Is it going to be 3-0? Is it going to be a 2-1? We're going to find out now on Dragonshire, our 3rd map here at Division S. Game on! Go next on the left in blue with Wit on Garrosh, Starzerg playing Rexxar, and Kelvin on Genji. We're currently also having Zervas on Junkrat here and Skynox on TYRANDE. And to the right side of the map, Banana H on Rhaegar, Turbos on Jaina, Dequaza on DHaka Shakalaka. Beyond Sensor Tool and Masquerade on Johanna. Alright.
5, 4.
Level 1, Bird of Prey taken. Look at that. Alright, fair enough. Already adjusting slightly for added wave clear. I'm eager to see if Go Next has figured it out now and just said, okay, listen, we have our setup. I'm terrified about that Void Prison into Ring of Frost combo that we see from the French team. They already did extremely well with that, playing around the Entomb into the Ring of Frost earlier, but yeah. Now, as we're looking towards the top lane, let's talk a little bit about Rexa. And please bear with me here, because Rexa is really a hero that pops up a lot these days. Now, granted, if you don't pay attention, Rexa can end up in a couple of very grisly situations where he barely escapes, but he is a hero that can definitely hold the lane experience and is also able to paw his way to the top to control the shrine too. So he's actually adding a lot of value on certain maps to the team composition, and Dragonshire is for sure one of them. In the middle of the map now, we are still having... Look at the Rhaegar, look at the doggy, already sneaking over to the camp because he wants to clear it. That's one of the huge advantages you have with Rhaegar in your lineup, just in general, because you will be able to just delete those camps. Second hero jumps in, you have the lightning shield, and you make the plays right there. Top side, as we said, Quasar is already basically blocking the lane here, trying to just like slow it down and freeze it in because he wants to make sure that he is not getting ganked. Starzerk very likely is going to have the early game control, but this is offsetting, of course, the balance topside a bit. So with this, there is a situation where you can push that out, especially, of course, if you have a little bit of help here. It's an unbearable situation for Starzerk to be in, because he's against 3 heroes right now, and this is a very grisly spot to be in. Nearly falling there, but barely gets out of harm's way, as we have Kelvin rotating in, and Misha escapes too. Now as the push comes in, we have to be a bit careful here, but bear with me. At the bottom of the map, we're seeing TYRANDE in the meantime, pushing against Masquerade. The push at the top lane, on the other hand, still continues. And with Quasar, Banana Age and Tobos pushing in, the wall falls. The second turret is already taken down as well. And yeah, Misha survives too. But the wall has fallen. That's the big thing. That's what you want to accomplish. And they got a lot of value out of that one camp that they took. So they take the early bruiser camp, time it well, and then rotate quickly topside, but also hide until the camp is mid lane, push the wave out, and then still go for the structure. It was actually really well done by them, and nets them the early lead in this game. At the same time, the bottom has taken very little damage, despite the mini push that we saw here from the other side. Level 4, by the way, the Hungry Bear. That didn't quite work out for Wit. He showed that minion who's boss. He showed that minion who's boss here. Oh god. Like with Garrosh, it's one of those heroes where if you're missing a hotkey, or you just like press the wrong one at the wrong time, you look insanely silly. And that was a perfect example of exactly that happening. And it happens so quickly, but that's a Dragonite that's taken. So despite the fact that Garrosh might not have gotten the value that he wanted earlier on, and Junkrat just died to Johanna, they held those points long enough for the Dragonite to be taken in there. And, well, that is going to be a bit of damage. Now, it's an early Dragonite, of course. They're not going to get too much out of it, but even if you just use it for the wave clear, you're going to be in a decent spot. Dehaka at the top is trying to deal with Starzerk, and he gets the globe. He should actually be able to get away here, unless there's another drag that connects, but Misha is already moving in now too, and that means that Quasar is not going to get that kill. Or at least he shouldn't. Dragonite still getting some value, but super early, so only being used for the Fire Breath, as you can see, and just tying 2 heroes to the lane. If there's only one, he would probably move in, but even with that little bit of poke, he already gets the entire wall. That's decent value, because you tie your opponent's resources to the mid lane, but you're still getting the value there. But talking value, Skynox. Oh, yes, the last icicle to the face, but in comes Wit and delivers the kill against Jaina. Kill for a kill, but as it turns out, Genji wasn't protected, and so he goes down. Yeah, Servus is still moving away. Drops a couple of grenades just to make sure that nobody's following him. Beyonce, on the other hand, pulls quickly in. Wormholes out as he saw an opportunity to maybe get that kill after all. It's a great start into the game, but I really have to say that the French team is still doing fairly well considering that they had to defend against the Dragon Knight. They lost a little bit in the middle of the map, not too much. Masquerade eats a few tower shots as Wit is playing nicely around Garrosh and uses the displacement here. It's the experience that worries me probably the most, and that's where the French team is currently excelling. Especially since they're again going straight in for the camp. And that has been an advantage that they had throughout the entire game. Nicely done also here for the added vision. They have just done a great slow him down, gets a point, but the problem is you're not getting any camp set up. Like, there's not a single camp that has really been taken. I think this is the first time they're going for the Siege Giants here. And with now the second Bruiser camp already claimed here, this time through the bot lane, that's just added value that the French team gets the entire time. And now we're also having level 10 abilities, and that means Void Prism, and guess who's on the way? It is Beyonce. Here comes already the Blessed Shield and a triple baby ring. Oh no, they messed the ring up. Was it the taunt? Was it the stun from Garrosh? Oh, I didn't pay attention to Jaina in that case, but it looked like Garrosh was actually one that ruined the setup, but oh my god, that could have been a triple kill. Instead, Jaina dies, so we have Go next, interrupting the combo here. And Quasar now also moving down, but he's about to fall shortly after Reka has suffered the same fate. 3 down. Oh, they have the lineup, they have the setup, and that they just can't deliver the damage here. That was unlucky to say the least. Unfortunate for them. Ring gets thrown out, and I think that Xeratul was controlled here. I think that he couldn't release. Unless they really messed it up. But with Garrosh moving in that hard, it looked like it was the stun or the taunt that they got through. Either way, the setup didn't work out for them. So, as it stands, they have to wait for another opportunity. I really like the Void Prison setup. I mean, that's the moment when Xeratul was just like, okay, I got this. Ooh, tactical pause coming in from the French here. Alright. Debating a little bit how they're gonna get the Dragon Knight cancelled, but to be fair, Masquerade is just now sitting close to the shrine. That is, timing-wise, not gonna work out. That's gonna be a Dragon Knight. Top lane doesn't look like Xeratul can make a play for this one either. So this is very, very much looking like a Dragon Knight here. Not quite sure why the pause happened. Maybe it's one of them disconnected, but Tobo still seems to be in here. This is actually an interesting one. Look at that. Look at this. Is this... That must be the cave of Doctor Strange that just comes here. That's the only explanation that I have. That thing has apparently a mind of its own. And interestingly enough, it's sitting on Jaina. That puts a whole new perspective on the entire hero. Okay, I learned here. Apparently Jaina stole something away. Does she have a secret relationship with Doctor Strange? We might never find out, but it's definitely something someone should explore. As the doggy gets blown up here by the Riptire. Insta-kill. Look at Go next. Damn kids, like, they are really on fire right now for this one. They're taking the second Dragon Knight, they're taking the first fort of the game. The Haka is getting topside value at least, but it's highly unlikely that it's going to get the entire thing, unless he has a lot of time on his hands. So once again, we're having at the bottom of the map the push towards the keep itself, but more than the wall. It's not really feasible for them. Even that is not really too realistic. And there's also level 13 talents now popping up. Nicely done, Go next, I like it. They're starting to get ahead here. Now, obviously, that entire burst setup with Jaina and Xeratul is still available, so you can't really take that too easy. Also, Johanna, do you get lost? Oh, Johanna is actually on that team. That's the taunt. I was like, where's she going? But yeah, that's the kill right there. Massive gank. Massive, massive gank setup. So Jojo is down. Yeah, for a moment I was confused there. I'm actually very confused today, just in general. I'm not quite sure what it is. Mid lane, fort, getting attacked again. 7 kills against 3 by now. Ever since we saw level 10 dropping into the hands of Go next. We've been doing well. Very well. Our top lane. I still gotta say, there's a little bit of experience that gets lost the entire time. Now, with the camp pushing topside, 2 of the heroes had to commit to that. Opens up a little bit more space on the rest of the map. But the French team, they are currently just licking their wounds, to be honest. They just need to, honestly, just get their shit together here a little bit. One good setup with the Void Prison, nice setup with the ult on Johanna, Blessed Shield, throw that out. And they have a good chance there, especially, of course, since Void Slash is going to come in at 16. I mean, duh. That's like serious question. So, yeah. Yeah, with that said, having now still the attempt to go for the bottom camp. Yep, bruisers are coming back. Should be able to control that. And, well, we're still having a level disadvantage for them. But the camp is not getting claimed at all. Rayquaza is sitting fine at the top. And keep in mind, he can burrow down. If that fight ever happens, he can burrow down. Zeratul is already sitting at the side here and doing his thing. So, we already have them moving in over here towards Garrosh. Oh, missed that one. So it gets away. Jojo is still moving in. They're trying to make the play. And there's the blessed shield. Now they need the play for Garrosh. Yes, there needs to be the entomb. Yes! 4-man. They get the 4-man entomb, and that has to be a ring. Ring goes in. Nope. Using it now for the escape. And they get 1. They get 2. Garrosh is down. And so is TYRANDE. The kill against Junkrat. And now we're talking triple kill. As the Frenchies are just murdering through it. I love that Rexa just snuck in and stole the bottom shrine here. We're having Rayquaza in the middle, so he's trying to hold this, but he's actually dying to that. He's dying to the stun as we have at the bottom of the map another 4 eliminated, but I love that little play. Trying to sneak the Dragonite while nobody is watching them, and then trying to sneak the DK there too. Now, the one thing that we definitely have to point out with Masquerade is, as you can see, look at that slow. He actually completed the level 7 quest because of that little gank against him earlier. So that slow, whenever he gets the punish through, is actually insane. Rexa has just experienced that firsthand, and he just got slowed. He was just like, the fuck? Just sitting there, didn't even know how to get away from it. So, yep, so they have now 80% slow completely with that thing done. This is actually pretty bonkers. I could really help them here. 16 on both sides now. 8 kills against 7. Dehaka holds the top, so we're having a fight in the middle about to happen. But it's a 5 versus 4 setup that we're looking at now. Here comes still the move. Again, same thing. Look at that slow. It's pretty much like standing still. Going in again. Moving out. Close call, but that's the Dragonite right there. That's the Dragonite. And this is the first one for the French team, actually, in this game. But they've already taken that bottom fort earlier, and they're apparently trying to make the play for keep. Yeah? They're going to the bot lane. They're going for the keep. They have still 1 siege shine with this too, so they have quite a bit of power with that push. The interesting part is, of course, still that we're having Rhaegar in the Dragonite, which means they don't have a support right now. But they still have their entire damage set up. So that can help them. They just need to be careful that nobody is dropping here too quickly. And against Junkrat, that's normally where you want the support. Topaz is already dropping a bit. But there's now the Catapult. There's the Siege Shine. And to be fair, they should get this one. That keep should be a freebie for them. Zeratul is already going in. He's trying to see what he can do here. A quick punt against Garrosh. That helps as well. And they're moving away. I like that. They're going in, they take the keep, and they're saying, like, okay, guys, let's do it. Let's move out. But they're trying. The drag gets dragged, getting kicked, and the Haka's talking like the taunt and the ancestral, and that's the end of it. No, it's not. It's the Haka that dies. Oh, and here comes the blade. 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. Make it 4, baby. Zeratul is dead. Complete quad kill. The French team here. Massive pings already happening. They're at least gonna try and go for the keep now too. Masquerade, of course, still has the flashlight, and whenever he gets that in, that helps him to at least mitigate a bit of the damage, but this is not a good spot to be in. Only question is it core or is it not? And it looks like they're trying. Blessed shield up in 20. Yep, they're trying to delay it a little bit more. Masquerade, he is going to probably sacrifice himself, but I don't think you can core, can you? They're trying to, but I'm not quite sure they can. 3 seconds. Zeratul is back in 9. He doesn't have the thing. Oh, he doesn't have the Void Prison, but they should be able to maybe defend this. This is going to get close, guys. This is down to 50%. If they can go for the damage dealers, they might have a chance here. They're already killing Garrosh, but the core is down to 30%. The double kill. And that's the entire team getting wiped off the map. 14%. And they risked it, and now they are going to get wrecked. the move through the map as we have the team going down to the bottom, trying to move through here, taking the core wave or the wave on the way down. Minions are being eliminated. The Ark are already burrowing in, and that is going to be, it should be the 3-0. They're trying to make the play here with everybody moving in and all of the cooldowns about to be ready. They should definitely be able to do this. Zeratul already has the Void Prison up, can definitely control this entire entry path here once that it gets close, and I don't think there's a chance for Go Next to come back in time, especially with Zeratul dropping the Void Prison. The core gets raced down 14%. Go Next nearly took game number 3, and here's the Void Prison just for the lulz as the core falls, and the French team takes the 3-0 in the series against Go Next and claims victory on Dragonshire.